Hi sisters! Today I wanted to make a video over reproductive health and what I do to minimize my footprint while I'm on my moon cycle. Well, I was put on birth control when I was 15 by my doctor because I had really heavy periods and pretty bad hormonal acne. At that age, we don't really question things sometimes, and I kind of just took what the doctor gave me, and I was on birth control for about 6 years, and I didn't have a period much, and I just felt like I came to a point where I felt it was very unhealthy not to have a period, and when I went plant-based last year at the age of 21, I kind of just wanted to remove birth control and just remove everything that wasn't good for my body from my life. And so with the support of my lovely boyfriend and my family, I got off birth control and I stopped paying $25 a month for something that was harming my hormones and my body. And I started to do research on the effects of birth control, and I was reading about infertility and the increased risk of cervical cancer and hormonal acne it causes, and depression and weight gain. And I even could relate because when I was on birth control I had 3 times bigger boobs than I have now, and it's just like, it's so crazy, all these effects that we're not even told when we're given this medication. And so anyways, I don't think it's good to be putting any synthetic hormones into our body, and that includes IUDs and anything else. Other ways that you can protect yourself, for example, there is a thermometer called a Daisy, or I'm sure there's other brands, that you put on your tongue, under your tongue every morning, and it tells your temperature and it tells you when you're ovulating. I personally don't have one of those at the moment because they are a little bit expensive. Excuse me. I personally use an app called Glow. There are multiple period tracker apps, and I've been using that for like 7 months now, and I really like it. It tells, so since I've been using it for so long, it can kind of like tell it tells when my periods are, and it's been very accurate every month. So I usually have my period like around the full moon is when it starts, and so it tells me when I'm ovulating, and then you just simply don't have sex while you're ovulating. And now, yes, there could be, other precautions, but that's just what works for me. And you can also just use a condom to be extra safe. So there are other alternatives to using birth control, and I don't think it's fair that doctors put girls on birth control at such a young age, and they don't really know the effects and kind of what it does. So that's my take on birth control and why I'm not on it, and I will tell you, it was the best decision of my life. I've never felt better, and I just feel like I have normal, my hormones are balanced, they're normal, and it's natural. It's part of womanhood to have your period, and there's no reason to take it away just because it's too heavy. So anyways, so I have my moon cycle back, and instead of using tampons and pads, I have switched over to a menstrual cup. I learned after getting off birth control that tampons are very, very toxic, and so the cotton is sprayed with pesticides, so they make tampons white through bleaching, and that has a lot of chemicals. When the tampon is in your body for hours, it's being absorbed into your bloodstream, and it's just very toxic for you. It's really bad for the environment. Think about how many tampons the plastic ends up in landfill each year. There's studies that have shown that women go through about 10,000 tampons in their lifetime. That's a lot of tampons and a lot of money. Menstrual cups you just invest in, once every 5 years. They're about $30 to $50, and the price might intimidate you at first, but think about how many boxes of tampons you buy every time you have your period, every month. Like, that's a lot. It definitely, exceeds the amount of a menstrual cup. So, and they last for about 5 years, and then you want to get a new one. But I recently got the Hello Cup. I used to use a Diva Cup, but I personally like the Hello Cup better. It's locally made here in New Zealand, and they come in 3 different sizes. There's extra small, small and medium, and then large. and extra small is for like preteens, like teenage girls that are just starting their period. The small and medium is just the average size cup, and then the large cup is for women who have had a baby or whatever. So it's just like a little bit bigger of a cup to collect more blood. So this is the cup, and they come in really pretty pastel colors, and I love them. They're just so cute, and I'll tell you how to insert it. Alright, so this is the cute little cup, and there are different ways that you can fold it, but my personal favorite, what I find easiest, is something they call a C-fold, which is simply this. This is a C-fold, and you just insert it and it pops open just like that, and it collects your blood and you don't feel a thing, or I personally don't feel much. But yeah, it's super comfortable to wear, and when it's time to take it out, you just squeeze it at the bottom and that breaks the seal, and you just pull it out and you just empty it into the loo, and I wash it in the sink and I put it back in and it opens up. And when my period's really heavy, I tend to change my cup about every 3 to 4 hours, or just, you know, depending when it needs to be changed. It becomes very intuitive. You know when you need to change it. And so, change it every few hours when it's really heavy. And when your period's really light, it can be left in for about 12 hours. So it's awesome. It's super convenient. And you also don't have to carry around tampons with you. You can just carry it in the bag and put it in your purse, and it's just super easy to take with you whenever you start your period. So you also need to clean your cup, and so when it comes time to clean your cup, it's good to put it in a pot of boiling water, and I personally like to use baking soda. I think baking soda is great. Can be used for so many different things, and it's awesome. It's natural. And so I just sprinkle a little bit of baking soda in the water, and I let my cup boil for about 5 to 10 minutes. You don't really want to exceed 10 minutes. You could do as little as 3 minutes if you don't have a lot of time. And you just want to also be sure that the cup doesn't touch the bottom of the pot or like touch the sides, because if left unattended or whatever, it could warp the cup. So you just want to be sure it's just, you know, floating in the middle. And you let it boil, take it out. I personally like to let it air dry in the sun, you know, just on a towel, lay it there, or whatever. But if there's 2 holes on the sides, right here, which are used for like the suctioning. Sometimes those get dried blood stuck in them, and what you can do is you can take a toothbrush, like an old toothbrush that you only use for your cup, and scrub it. And same with like the rim, like in there, because if you kind of like leave that in there for a long time, it can cause bacteria growth. So you just want to be sure that you're cleaning your cup after every cycle and really thoroughly getting all the old blood out. And then once it's dry, pop it back in here, take it with you. Alright, so I'm sure we all use some pads. I like to, when I'm like first starting my period, it's usually really heavy, and so I like to put a pad, you know, on my panties, because in case my cup leaks, I don't want it to ruin my panties. So with that being said, I like to use reusable pads. This brand is called Lotus. They come in cute little designs. I have stains on mine, so I'll show you this side. But you just lay it, it's super simple, you just lay it on your panties like a regular pad, and you just button it. It comes in 2 different like sizes. Button it, and it just sits on your panties. It's perfect, just like a regular pad. And when it's time to wash it and you have blood on it, you just take it off. And I personally wash it in the sink with cold water and some Dr. Bronner's, and I just rub it and let it air dry, put on my next pad, and then same thing. You can chuck it in the wash machine and, you know, let it dry or whatever, but I usually like almost need it like the next day, so I need it to be washed immediately, and so I just wash it when I'm done, and then also it keeps the blood from staining them. So I really love reusable pads. It's so awesome. Like, I don't have to buy pads anymore, and I don't have to buy tampons. It's just so cool. Like, this is all you need. This is all you need. This is so perfect. It saves you money, it saves the environment, and it's just so kind on everything. So, menstrual cup and some pads, and you're good to go. One more thing is cramps. So I personally don't take any painkillers or any medication. I like to heal naturally, so drinking lots of water is very important because you're losing a lot of blood. Spending time in nature, kind of just getting outside, going for gentle walks, yoga. You don't want to do any like vigorous runs or working out and kind of put strain on your body. You kind of just want to relax. It's a time for settling down and rebirthing. And also drinking a lot of water and drinking herbal tea is really good. So I like to drink raspberry leaf tea or like chamomile, and I put some like medicinal mushrooms in them. You can also take CBD. CBD is really good. So take Epsom salt baths. Those are really good. My personal favorite, I rub castor oil on my stomach, and that really helps with cramps and kind of digestion and like massages the organs. And then you can put a heating pad. My mom gave me a heating pad like when I first started my period at like the age of, I don't know, 13, 14. And that was like my favorite thing about my period was having a heating pad. And you just curl up in a ball and just lay down, and it feels so good. Listen to some 432 hertz meditation music and just relax. And that's what really helps me when I'm on my period. And also lavender is really good. Lavender essential oil. I just like to rub my temples with it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you want to order a Hello Cup, you can find them online. Or if you're in New Zealand, they are at your local health shop in town. And you can usually find reusable pads and cups at the supermarket. So I would love to answer any questions if you have them, and I'm sending you so much love from New Zealand.